A new project that could increase its value 100-fold in just a week. Invest just $500 and you'll make so much money you won't know how to spend it fast enough. A next-generation cryptocurrency that's really just a humble new Bitcoin. If you don't buy today, you'll regret it tomorrow. That's exactly how a typical rug pull usually begins. First come the promises, the visions of a luxurious lifestyle, a community growing stronger by the day, until one day you wake up with nothing. The project creators vanish with your money, the website stops working, and the cryptocurrency you bought loses all its value in the blink of an eye. Let's dive into the video. Don't forget to subscribe this channel, like this video, and leave the comment under this video, please. You can now also support me on YouTube. A rug pull is a common cryptocurrency scam in which the creators launch a new token or sometimes even an entire exchange. They aggressively promote it to attract new investors, promising massive profits, revolutionary innovation, or game-changing technology. And when everything seems too good to be true, it usually is too good to be true. The creators of the rug pull pull the rug, basically vanishing along with the capital that was pumped into the project at its peak. A typical rug pull project is hyped up to the extreme, promising the moon, often with the help of influencers, celebrities, or as it turned out in one case, even politicians. Enticed by these promises, investors buy in, which pushes the token's value up. Meanwhile, the creators retain control over a large share of the tokens and the liquidity pool. At the peak, they cash out, dumping their tokens, crushing the price, sometimes all the way to zero, or at least to near worthlessness, leaving the investors with empty bags. The people behind the project then disappear, take down their websites, delete their social media profiles, and go completely dark. Some common red flags of a potential rug pull include anonymous developers, overly aggressive marketing that promises quick returns, poor or vague documentation, or a large portion of the token supply held by the creators, and suspiciously high annual percentage yields. So now that we've broken up what rug pull is and how it works, let's look at some of the biggest and most notorious scams of this kind. In December of 2024, a popular influencer, Hailey Welch, was looking for a new way to monetize her fame. You may or may not recognize her name. She's the one that gave this famous interview where, when asked how to satisfy a man, she responded in this iconic way.
You gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing, you get me?
Instantly becoming one of the most overused memes of 2024, namely the Hawk Tuah girl. Together with her team and some experts, she decided it would be a great idea to launch her own cryptocurrency, which she named Hawk. The project immediately gained massive attention because the world of crypto today isn't just about tech and complex innovations anymore. It's increasingly about so-called Memecoins. These are cryptocurrencies created either as jokes or social experiments, and they usually have no real utility. Their popularity is driven mostly by internet memes, humor, and hype on social media. Some of the best-known meme coins of the last decade include Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Memecoin. Hailey likely wanted to create something similar, but it didn't exactly go as planned. New meme coins in particular are extremely vulnerable to being rug pulls, and the investment risk is enormous, but the potential profits, if played right or if you get really lucky, can be just as huge, assuming the project doesn't die quickly. Back to the story, however, the Hawk project literally exploded in popularity, largely thanks to Welch's massive online popularity. At the same time, she claimed that Hawk token would be revolutionary for some weird reason. On the day the token launched, fueled by an enormous wave of hype and a flood of promo videos from Welch encouraging people to invest, the project reached a market cap of nearly $500 million. Thousands of people decided to entrust the influencer with their savings, drawn in by the dreams of massive gains. Everything looked promising, but within just a few hours, it all took a sharp turn. The price of Hawk plummeted almost instantly, losing over 90% of its value in less than an hour. Overnight, investors who have just been staring at massive profits on their screens were now looking at empty wallets. Individuals Individual losses ranged from hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars. Chaos and despair quickly spread across online communities. Soon after, shocking details about the structure of Hawk began to surface. It turned out that a whopping 96% of the token's total supply was controlled by just 10 anonymous wallets, meaning the project was dangerously vulnerable to price manipulation. It was also discovered that most of the tokens being sold right after the launch were being dumped by people who had never even purchased the coin. They had simply received it for free. This shady setup allowed for a textbook pump and dump, artificially inflating the token's value only to cash out fast, leaving the rest of the investors with nothing. Naturally, Hailey Welch quickly found herself in the crosshairs of angry investors. In response, the influencer firmly denied any accusations of wrongdoing, stating that neither she nor her closest collaborators had sold any of their tokens at any point. Welch blamed the token's dramatic crash on so-called snipers, crypto players who buy large amounts of a newly launched token within seconds, pump the price, and then dump everything for profit, effectively destroying the project. But not everyone was convinced by Welch's explanation. For hundreds of victims, Hawk became a painful example of how easy it is to fall prey to market manipulation and scams, especially when a project is promoted by celebrities who lack any real technological or business backing. Memecoins. They're a truly fascinating branch of crypto, and as I've already mentioned, they're incredibly prone to being scams. Which brings us to another rug pull on the list. The story of the SQUID Token. Yes, exactly, that's Squid as in Squid Game. This project shamelessly piggybacked on the massive popularity of Netflix series, therefore quickly capturing the attention of both media and a lot of investors from around the world, only for the token's inventors to vanish with a lot of money. The SQUID project launched in October of 2021, right when the Squid Game craze was at its peak. The creators promised investors the opportunity to participate in a special crypto-based game inspired by the challenges from the show. Naturally, investors were drawn in by the idea of making profits while taking part in a fun, interactive experience. The SQUID token skyrocketed in value, from just a few cents to nearly $3,000 within days. Many investors were seeing insane gains on paper, but it didn't take long for a troubling truth to emerge. The project was designed in a way that made it impossible to sell newly purchased tokens. This anti-sell mechanism, aka sell lock, effectively trapped investors in the system, and so on November 1st, the inevitable happened. The creators pulled all of the liquidity, selling off their majority holdings in one swift move. Therefore, the price of SQUID collapsed from over $2,800 to virtually $0 in just seconds, leaving thousands of investors holding completely worthless tokens. The people behind SQUID made off an estimated $3 million, funds that investors from all over the world had poured in, hoping for a quick and easy profit. In practice, the money simply vanished. The individuals responsible were never identified or caught, because the SQUID team had been anonymous from day one. The project's website and social media accounts disappeared just as quickly as the money itself, and in the aftermath, it was discovered that token's documentation was riddled with glaring errors and red flags, warnings that were either overlooked or ignored by excited investors. In February of 2025, in Argentina of all places, one of the biggest crypto scandals in history erupted, quickly dubbed Cryptogate. At the center of this storm was none other than the president of Argentina himself, Javier Milei, who publicly promoted a new cryptocurrency project with a catchy name, Libra. The whole affair began on February 14th, when a company called Kelsier Ventures, registered in Delaware, USA, created the LIBRA token on the Solana blockchain as part of a project titled Viva la Libertad, Long Life Freedom. Just over 3 minutes after the token's launch, President Milei published posts on his official social media profiles promoting Libra and encouraging everyone to invest. The posts included a direct link to the smart contract address, allowing allowing users to buy the newly launched coin. Notably, several other government officials were also involved in the promotion. Following Milei's posts, the value of Libra skyrocketed, from a few fractions of a cent to nearly $5.20 in just 40 minutes. The project's founders controlled over 70% of the total token supply, and once the price peaked, they suddenly sold off their holdings, triggering a crash of over 85%. Within just 3 hours, 9 founding wallets collectively made around $87 million, while an estimated 74,000 investors were left with devastating losses. A textbook rug pull. 7 hours after his initial post, President Milei deleted it and issued a statement claiming he had promoted the project without fully understanding it. According to him, his intention was merely to support a private initiative aimed at stimulating the Argentine economy. However, the political opposition accused him of participating in a fraud and called for impeachment. In response, Milei ordered the National Anti-Corruption Office to launch an investigation into the matter. The Libra scandal quickly caught the attention of international media and law enforcement agencies around the globe. An Argentine law firm operating in the US even filed a complaint against Milei and others involved with the US Department of Justice and the FBI. Given how fresh this case is, investigations are still ongoing to determine the exact role President Milei played in promoting Libra and whether any illegal actions were committed. The scandal has cast a long shadow over Milei's administration and sparked widespread debate about the responsibilities of public figures when promoting high-risk investments. Many are already calling it the first major scandal of President Milei's term. The story of the Turkish crypto exchange Thodex is one of the most spectacular examples of a large-scale rug pull, a scandal that shook not only the crypto world, but the entire financial system in Turkey. You see, rug pulls aren't always tied to specific meme coins or different weirdly named tokens. Sometimes this rug is being pulled out from under an entire exchange, one that has been operating for years and on the surface seemed stable. It all began with Faruk Fatih Ozer, who founded his cryptocurrency exchange in 2017. The platform quickly gained popularity, especially after Turkey entered a national currency crisis that decimated citizens' savings. As more and more people began turning to crypto as the way to protect their finances, Thodex experienced rapid growth. By 2021, the exchange boasted over 400,000 users, and daily trading volumes were reaching hundreds of millions of dollars. Then suddenly, on April 21st, 2021, Thodex users lost access to their accounts. The platform's website displayed a vague message about temporary maintenance work, but it didn't take long for the truth to surface. Faruk Fatih Ozer had fled the country the day before, boarding a flight from Turkey to Albania and taking with him an enormous sum of money that belonged to the exchange's users. So a global manhunt was launched almost immediately. The Turkish justice system issued an international arrest warrant and law enforcement began tracking his movements. Initial reports suggested that Ozer had stolen as much as $2 billion worth of crypto. Later investigations would revise that figure down to somewhere between $150 and $200 million. Still, it's an astronomical amount nonetheless. Regardless of the final number, tens of thousands of people in Turkey lost their life savings as a result of the scam. Ozer managed to evade capture for over a year, using fake documents and moving between different countries. But in August 2022, he was finally arrested in Albania and extradited back to Turkey. His trial began in April of 2023, where he faced serious charges of massive financial fraud. The scandal led to tighter crypto regulations in Turkey, but despite these legal efforts, public trust in crypto exchanges across the region was badly shaken. Many investors around the world also began treating crypto exchanges with more caution, especially decentralized platforms and startups, because even exchanges that seem stable and legitimate when run by individuals without proper oversight can vanish overnight along with users' funds. The story of Anubis DAO is another textbook example of a rug pull that perfectly exploited the hype around Memecoin assets and other trend-based crypto projects. This particular one launched in October of 2021 and, like so many others of this kind, promised large returns on investment and other mind-blowing profits. And by now you can probably guess how it ended. Anubis DAO was primarily modeled after the then popular cryptocurrency Olympus DAO. The project drew inspiration from the Egyptian god of the dead, Anubis, and its branding clearly tried to ride the coattails of other successful meme coins. But from the very beginning, there were massive red flags and controversies. For example, the creators were completely anonymous and there was no official website, and the project lacked any clear or transparent technical documentation. And despite all of that, Anubis DAO still managed to raise an enormous amount of capital. How? Through influencer promotion and the enthusiasm of a quickly growing community around the project. Within just 24 hours, through the Copper launch platform, Anubis DAO raised around $60 million worth of Ethereum from eager investors. But immediately after the fundraising ended, something strange happened. The funds started to vanish from the project's wallets. All the collected crypto, over 13,000 of Ethereum, was almost instantly transferred to a single anonymous wallet. Within mere minutes, the project lost all liquidity. Investors quickly realized what had just happened. They had fallen victim to a classic rug pull. Desperate investors scrambled to identify the people behind the project, but the complete anonymity of the creators made it impossible to act quickly. Everyone wanted to find the thieves and recover their money, but to no avail. The individuals behind Anubis DAO, like in so many of these cases, were never identified. The combination of anonymity and lack of regulation meant that the chances of recovering the stolen funds were next to none. And even though the crypto community, including blockchain analysts and white hat researchers, made extensive efforts to trace the funds, they still remain lost to this day. But cryptocurrency scams aren't just always about classic rug pulls involving price manipulation. Sometimes the scam lies in assigning a predetermined artificial value to a given asset, and all of this, unsurprisingly, never ends well. What's more, the next example also shows us that crypto fraud has been around far longer than most people think. Let's rewind to 2014, when a project called OneCoin made its debut. It was founded by Bulgarian businesswoman Ruja Ignatova, who would later become known worldwide as the Crypto Queen. According to the creators, OneCoin was supposed to be the Bitcoin of the 21st century, whatever that was supposed to mean. Financial revolution, global profits, massive returns. The message was clear: buy now or miss out. Ignatova and her associates sold special educational packages that allegedly gave investors access to tools allowing them to mine OneCoin tokens. These tokens, they claimed, would rise rapidly in value over time. Investors were also heavily encouraged to recruit new people into the system in order to earn even more. In reality, the whole thing was a classic Ponzi scheme. People were paying real money for tokens that had no actual value. The value of the OneCoin token wasn't determined by market demand. It was completely arbitrary, set internally by the creators and disconnected from any legitimate market dynamics. Despite this, the project exploded in popularity. More than 3 million people worldwide invested in OneCoin. According to official estimates, the scheme pulled in over 4 billion in total. The campaign was promoted at major crypto conferences, plastered across social media, and endorsed by countless finance influencers. But in October of 2017, Ruja Ignatova suddenly vanished without a trace, and she remains missing to this day. She is now wanted by the FBI and Interpol, and her disappearance has become one of the greatest mysteries in the history of cryptocurrency fraud. In 2019, Ruja's brother and OneCoin co-founder Konstantin Ignatov was arrested in the United States and later pled guilty to charges of fraud. Several other high-ranking individuals from the OneCoin leadership were also caught and sentenced to long prison terms for their roles in the scam. Ignatova, however, still remains free. If you just happen to find her and bring her to justice, you could collect a $5 million reward. That's how much the FBI is currently offering for information leading to her capture as of 2024. Once called the Crypto Queen, she is now known as the most wanted woman in the world. DeFi 100 was a project built on the Binance Smart Chain, marketed as a decentralized investment platform that promised users easy profits from the booming DeFi market, specifically through yield farming. Yield farming, in theory and in short, is a strategy where users place their crypto assets in various DeFi protocols to earn the highest possible returns. In this case, however, it was just a bait, used to lure in investors with promises of massive profits. The project offered high interest rates and generous rewards for depositing more and more funds, which convinced many to lock up large sums of money. But once the total deposits reached a critical threshold, the creators abruptly pulled the plug. In 2021, they shut down the project and drained all the funds. The D100 tokens lost their value virtually overnight. According to various estimates, the creators of DeFi 100 made off with somewhere between 30 million and 50 million of investors' money. The funds were instantly transferred to anonymous wallets, and any investigations launched in the aftermath yielded no meaningful results. And another outrageous fact, the official DeFi 100 Twitter account even posted a final message claiming that the platform was hacked and that everything would return to being normal soon. This tweet from 2021 was one of the last things ever publicly heard from this project. However, the creators left behind one final, unmistakable message. Yes, we scammed you, and you can't do shit about it.